Thank you, devotees, for supporting. We're very fortunate today. We have His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu here with us. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for coming. As you know, our temple construction is going on, so we have a home program.
No, wonderful news. Many congratulations and I hope that everything comes out very well, and Bhagavan blesses the entire community, with all auspiciousness from all directions.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. We definitely need your blessings. Your next program is going to be in the temple.
Hare Krishna.
So briefly about Prabhu. His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Radha Govind Goswami Maharaj. He's an accomplished Sanskrit scholar, poet, and translator. He has studied the Ashtadhyayi and completed a translation with commentary on Bhakti Vinod Thakur Manashiksha. He serves on ISKCON's Shastrik Advisory Board, compiles the bi-weekly e-magazine, Shri Krishna Katamrita Bindu, and is an assistant editor for Gopal Jew Publications, a globally respected spiritual publishing house. And Prabhu has been doing deep dive on the classes on Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion, amazing classes on YouTube. Prabhu, we keep hearing them. So grateful to you for doing that.
Yeah.
And we are very fortunate that we get to hear today on Sri Padyavali, the joys, relishing the joyous ways of Sri Padyavali. Thank you very much, Prabhu. With that, let us welcome Prabhu by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. My sincere thanks to Radha Vinod Prabhu. Jai Ho. And Mataji's name is Nirmala Mataji. Where is Mataji? Oh, Jai Ho. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. And thank you for kindly opening the doors of your home and inviting all of us today. You have two children, Krishna Chaitanya. And where is Krishna Chaitanya? Jai Ho, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. And Sanjana. Wonderful. So wonderful Kirtan by Sanjana and Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. Wonderful family, dear devotees. Let's give them a round of applause for kindly inviting us together. So, wonderful home, and I'm thankful to Satyasar Prabhu Jai Subhadra Mataji for kindly organizing this program here. I'm very grateful to each and every one of you for kindly being here. Before we dive into the joyous waves of Srila Rupa Goswami's Padyavali, I'll briefly sing Jai Radha Madhav, then we'll do Mangala Charan, auspicious invocations, and I'll try to speak something. Okay. Jai Ho. Yeah, if more devotees are coming, I would suggest that you please move ahead. And don't worry, I took a bath. This one I said, take this. Okay. Thank you. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यामुनतीरवनचारे यामुनतीरवनचारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे So, wonderful. Thank you once again, dear devotees, for being present here. Na griham grihamithyahur grihini griham uchyate. 4 walls don't make a home. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that 4 walls don't make a home. It is grihini, the lady of the home, who makes the home. So in many ways the home is considered as non-different from the grihini, the lady who has made the home beautiful. So you can see there are paintings in all the directions. And the home is beautiful. But is it majorly Prabhuji's contribution or Mataji's contribution? So if the question is asked, so what do you think, dear devotees, is the answer? Grihini. So dear devotees, I am very thankful, Mataji. It is your home actually. That the domain of the home is exclusive to the Grihini. She has exclusive right over the home according to Shastra. And the man's name may be written outside the door. That's where his domain ends. Once you are inside, it is the domain of the Grihini. But thank you, Prabhuji and Mataji, for kindly inviting us and welcoming all of us. Before we dive into Padyavali, which is all auspicious, we also separately perform Mangalacharan, auspicious invocations. The reason for this is so that we invoke the memory of the previous Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, so that we know that their blessings are also with us. So reason for invoking them is to invoke their blessings in the beginning of a particular event or program. So I'll sing Mangalacharan. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Barijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Nama He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. Welcome once again, dear devotees. Shri Padyavali is one of the most wonderful compilation of verses done by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. And in this compilation of verses, Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada has included very sweet verses from devotee authors of the past. Many verses in Chaitanya Charitamritam are originally from Padyavali. In fact, the entire Shikshashtakam was first compiled in Padyavali, and from Padyavali it came into Sri Chaitanya Charitamritam. Srila Rupa Goswami, he heard Shikshashtakam from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this Shikshashtakam was included in the Padyavali first. And from Padyavali it found its way into Sri Chaitanya Charitamritam. Many other verses by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. Some of you might have heard that verse, Naham Vipro, Na Chanarapatir, Na Pi Vaishyo, Na Shudro, that I am neither Brahmana, nor Kshatriya, nor Vaishya, nor Shudra. All these verses were originally compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami in Padyavali. But the meaning of the term Padyavali is Padya. Padya means poetry. Avali is series. So, series of poetry is known as Padya, Avali, and it combines to give the final term Padyavali. The term Padyavali is feminine in gender. In Sanskrit, there are three genders, which is known as Pulling or Purushottam Ling, according to Sri Jiva Goswami, or masculine gender, and Striling or Lakshmi Ling, or feminine gender, or Napumsakling or Brahmaling or neuter gender. So there are three genders in Sanskrit, out of which the term Padyavali is in the feminine gender. Sanskrit literature obviously has the very unique characteristic. It acknowledges the fact that most of the beauty in the universe has been invested by Bhagavan in the feminine gender. So, acknowledging this fact, the Padyavali is also which gender, dear devotees? Feminine gender. So, Bhagavan has invested most of the beauty in this world. In which gender? All the masculine genders agree? Yes or no? Everybody agrees? So, dear devotees, even Bhagavan himself is attracted to the beauty of himself, although he is masculine in gender. But more than his own beauty, Shri Bhagavan is attracted to the beauty of the feminine gender in the principle or in the personality of Shri Radha. So, dear devotees, this is Bhagavan's eternal nature, and this is reflected in all aspects of creation, including Padyavali. Padyavali, a literature which is a compilation of sweet verses related to Sri Krishna by authors previous to Sri Rupa Goswami. So, how did Padyavali come about? I will give a little introduction, then we will get into a verse which glorifies Padyavali, then we will start relishing some verses from the Padyavali. Previously, 500 years ago, when Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami were traveling with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or even before they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whenever they would hear a nice devotional verse, they would have one chance to either memorize it or write it down. We don't know if they will hear the verse again. So that one chance they had at writing down or memorizing the verse. So whenever Srila Rupa Goswami would hear a very nice verse related to Sri Krishna, which has been composed by an author previous to him, he would immediately either write it down or commit it to memory. So Srila Rupa Goswami in this way compiled more than 400 verses, and then Sri Jiva Goswami arranged them topic-wise. So when it was arranged topic-wise, and then finally the compilation came out. And what was the name of the compilation, dear devotees? Sri Padyavali. So this Padyavali is the name of the compilation that came out. Sri Jiva Goswami organized many of these texts of Sri Rupa Goswami and gave them a proper name. And this is how we have Padyavali today. One thing we have to understand, dear devotees, when the Padyavali was compiled, there was no hope of ever becoming a published author. The Padyavali was not compiled with the hope that we will have thousands of copies and Rupa Goswami will become known as a very popular author. This could not be. Jai, Jai, Jai. Welcome. Jai, Jai, Jai. So when Srila Rupa Goswami compiled Padyavali, the aim was never that he could become a published author, because there was no printing press in those days. So how many copies of Padyavali existed in Vrindavan 500 years ago? If we see, there were 1 or 2 handwritten copies of Padyavali were existing, one of them in the Radha Damodar Mandir. And it was doubtful if these copies will survive for the next 200 years, because they are handwritten manuscripts. And there was always the lurking danger of an invasion happening at any point of time, or some invader destroying the library, burning the library. But it is Bhagavan's great compassion upon us that Sri Rupa Goswami's work survived. And not only did they survive, we have now printed thousands and millions of copies of his works. But when all of this was written, compiled, it was compiled under Ter Kadamba, the Kadamba tree in Shri Vrindavan, with no hopes of becoming a published author in his lifetime, with no hopes of ever having any material gain from this. This was compiled purely out of the desire to render seva to Shri Krishna and his devotees. So the mood of compilation is to render seva. Similarly, the mood of recitation should also be to render seva. How will we render seva? Through Padyavali today. When we hear the verses, Sometimes we will experience joy, sometimes amazement, various emotions will be experienced. When these emotions are experienced, we should know that originally these emotions were meant for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he compiled the literature originally from for one personality. For whom did he compile this literature? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whenever you feel at the end of the program, we will dedicate all the happiness that we felt to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way, the program is not for the mood of self-enjoyment. The program is for the mood of rendering seva to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is only in the mood of seva that we make genuine progress on the path. What is the difference between a mundane program where somebody is singing poetry and a program where we are singing Padyavali? What's the difference between these two programs? The main and primary difference between these two programs is that in a mundane program where poetry is recited, the aim is never to render seva. The aim is a self-gratification through experience of humor and other emotions. The aim of programs like this is that we can try to become like-minded to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by becoming like-minded to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding his mood, we can dedicate some of this happiness again to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, thereby rendering some seva and thereby making some advancement on the path of bhakti. This wonderful literature is named Padyavali. We'll introduce the Padyavali. There's a wonderful verse glorifying the Padyavali. This verse was composed by Sri Rupa Goswami himself. This is the introductory verse of Padyavali. The meter of the verse is Vasanta Tilakam. I will sing the verse. Please sing after me. Padyavali virachitaras mukunda. Padyavali virachitaras mukunda. Padyavali virachitaras mukunda. Padyavali virachitaras mukunda. Sambandha bandhura padabramadorva sindhu. Sambandha bandhura padabramadorva sindhu. Ramya samasta damasam damani kramena. Ramya samasta damasam damani kramena. Sangriyate kritikadambaka kautukaya. Sangriyate kritikadambaka kautukaya. This is the first verse in the Padyavali. Sri Rupa Goswami is introducing the Padyavali. Meter is Vasanti Tilakam. We sang in a different tune, although you might have heard a familiar tune in Brahma Samhita. If you know the tune of Brahma Samhita, you can sing along with me. Padyavali virachita rasikair mukunda. Sambandha bandhura pada pramadormi sindhu. Ramya samasta tamasam damani kramena. Sangriyate kritikadambaka kautukaya. So meter is Vasanti Tilakam, same as the meter for Sri Brahma Samhita. Sri Rupa Goswami is introducing by putting the name of the compilation in the beginning. What is the name of the literature, dear devotees? Padyavali. Please note the name is feminine in gender. Alright? So the name is feminine in gender. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the name is masculine in gender because Sindhu is masculine term. But Padyavali is feminine in gender. In the Sindhu, there are many philosophical concepts. Hence the name has taken a masculine meaning. Here there are no philosophical concepts. There is just relishment of rasa. So therefore, dear devotees, which gender has been assigned to the Padyavali? Feminine gender. Padyavali, this literature, this series of poetry, virachita, has been nicely composed. Rachita, composed. Virachita. So, nicely composed. By whom? By you, Sri Rupa Goswami? No. Rasikaihi. Rasikaihi means those who are expert connoisseurs of Bhakti Ras. They have compiled this. A connoisseur is a person who has fine taste in arts, music or literature. Such a person is known as Rasika or connoisseur of that particular art, music or literature. In traditional India, a person is not fit to sit in a sabha A person is not considered as worthy of sitting in a respected assembly if they are not a rasika, if they are not a connoisseur of sahitya, sangeet or kala. Sahitya is literature, sangeet is music, kala is 64 arts. A dry-hearted person should not sit in a sabha. This is the tradition of India. Just because a person, is invited to a sabha, doesn't mean that they become eligible for a sabha according to previous acharyas. Bhartrihari says, Sahitya, Sangita, Kala, Vihina. People who are devoid of these three. What are these three, dear devotees? Sahitya. What is Sahitya, dear devotees? Literature. Sangeet. What is Sangeet? And Kala. What is Kala? Arts. How many arts are there in Vedic? 64 prominent arts. Sahitya, Sangeeta, Kala, Vihina. Bhartrihari says, Sakshat Pashu. Puchha Vishanahina is Sakshat Pashu. What is the meaning of Sakshat Pashu, dear devotees? Directly animal. Why did you take human birth? Bhartrihari asks. If somebody has to be a respected person in an assembly, they should be a connoisseur of Sahitya, Sangeet or Kala. And therefore the Vaishnavas are the best connoisseurs for Padyavali. One of the 26 qualities of Vaishnava is Kavi. This is one of the 26 qualities of a poet. And what is the meaning of Kavi, dear devotees? Poet. A Vaishnava should at least should write poetry or appreciate the poetry of the previous acharyas. So dear devotees, this Padyavali Virachita, it has been composed by Rasikai. Rasikai means it has been composed by various connoisseurs of the past. Now, Sri Rupa Goswami says, I will describe Padyavali. So he gives various adjectives to describe Padyavali. The adjectives are also all feminine in gender. It is important to understand that if the main term is feminine, then the adjectives will also be in which gender? Feminine gender. So let's hear the adjectives of Padyavali, description of Padyavali. So he says, Mukunda Sambandha Bandhura Pada. Can you see single term? What is the single term? Mukunda Sambandha Bandhura Pada. This is Sanskrit long term. Long terms in Sanskrit are called samas. But when we translate samas into English, usually we have to go in reverse direction. So pada. Pada means it contains poetry. This poetry is bandhura. Bandhura means madhura, very sweet. Why is it sweet? Sambandha, because this poetry is related to somebody. And to whom is it related, dear devotees? Mukunda. I hope you are able to understand. So Mukunda, Sambandha, Bandhura, Pada is poetry that is sweet because it is related to one person. To which person? Mukunda. There is so many poetry in the world outside. Kalidas, Ityadi, etc. have written so much poetry. Are they not sweet? So they are not so sweet as compared to Padyavali. Because the poetry of Kalidas, etc. describe, well, many of these poetry also describe Bhagwan. But there are poetry which describes Nayak, Naika, the mundane hero and heroine, or mundane male protagonist and female protagonist of this world. And there is absolutely no happily living after for such people. It only ends with they lived happily ever after. But all of us know that in the material world nobody lives happily ever after. So the mundane Nayak and Naika, they have absolutely no scope of attaining eternal happiness in the universe of rasa, in the universe of kavya. But Sri Sri Radha Krishna, they can happily live ever after. Our desire that and they lived happily ever after can be truly fulfilled only in the domain of one particular couple. Which couple is that, dear devotees? Sri Sri Radha Krishna. This cannot be fulfilled in the case of Nal Damayanti. It cannot be fulfilled in the case of Romeo Juliet. And those who have read Romeo Juliet, you will know that at the end what happens. Romeo Juliet dies and Romeo consumes poison, something like that is the end. So is this happy ending or sad ending? Sad. But such things will not happen in Radha Krishna. Mukunda Sambandha. All the verses are related to whom? Mukunda. So Bandhura Pada, very sweet. It is not going to end on a bitter note. Pramada Urmi Sindhu. And this Padyavali is a Sindhu. It is a joyous ocean of Urmi, of waves which cause Pramada, Prakrishtamada, intoxication. Sometimes in some verses you will start feeling a little intoxication. Pramada Urmi Sindhu. Ramya, she is very sweet. Very sweet. Why is she very sweet? Because she is composed in different meters. And to sing the different meters, you will experience the sweetness of each and every meter. Just now we sang 1 meter. Who remembers which meter we sang, dear devotees? Vasanta Tilakam. And in how many tunes did we sing, dear devotees? Two. Two tunes we sing. Same meter can be sung in infinite number of tunes. So, Ramya, you can sing Padyavali in various tunes. Samasta tamasam damani. It will suppress all your ignorance. Kramena sangriyate. Now sequentially I am compiling. And why are you compiling? So he says in the end, Kriti kadambaka kautukaya. You can see the alliteration. Kriti kadambaka kautukaya. Which alliteration is there, dear devotees? Ka. Huh? So, kautukaya, for the happiness of kadambaka, of groups, of kriti, of intelligent people. For the happiness of the groups of intelligent people like all of you, this Padyavali is being compiled. So, wonderful first verse of Sri Padyavali, composed by the author himself, compiler, not author, the compiler himself, Sri Rupa Goswami is saying. So, Narottam Vilas Prabhu is here. Prabhuji, kindly read the translation loudly.
These verses named Padyavali have been created by great Rasika devotees of the past. The Padyavali is beautiful due to being directly related to Lord Mukunda. It generates waves of joyous intoxication in the ocean of happiness for the devotees. It is very sweet and it can surpass all ignorance. It is being compiled by me, Sri Rupa Goswami, for the joy of the host of intelligent devotees.
So it is compiled for all of you, dear devotees, for the joy. I hope you are able to understand what is the purpose of the literature. Joy. Kautuk. Kautuk is for joy. But will we take joy as personal enjoyment or will we take our joy also as seva? How should we take our joy? Seva. If we got some joy, then that joy should also be used as what? Seva. On this path of bhakti, there is no personal gratification. The spirit of personal gratification is not there in the devotees. The spirit of rendering seva is there. Does not mean that we refuse the joy. We accept the joy wholeheartedly. But that joy is also dedicated to somebody. And to whom will we dedicate this joy, dear devotees? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Or verses, all these verses of Padyavali originally went through the ears of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is originally meant for giving him joy. Dear devotees, the immediate second verse of Padyavali is a wonderful verse. Small verse, but wonderful verse, dear devotees. I will try to sing. The meter is Anushtup, standard verse of the Bhagavad Gita, standard meter of the Bhagavad Gita. Kindly sing after me. Namo Nalina Netraya.
Namo Nalina Netraya.
Venu Vadya Vinodine.
Venu Vadya Vinodine.
Radhadhara Sudhapana.
Radhadhara Sudhapana.
Shaline Vanamaline.
Shaline Vanamaline.
So, this second verse also, the Padyavali says, Namo, I offer my obeisances. Now, this verse is describing the person who will be glorified in the Padyavali. And who is the person who will be glorified in Padyavali, dear devotees? Shri Krishna. But not only Shri Krishna. Along the word Shri also indicates Shri Radha. So the verse will also have Shri Radha's presence in it. So Radha Krishna are the worshipable deities of Sri Padyavali. So Sri Rupa Goswami says, and dear devotees, you have to draw a painting in your heart. Every verse is a painting that you can draw on the canvas of the heart. And Sri Rupa Goswami says, and please sing after me and notice the alliteration, Anupras. You can tell me the alliteration after you hear it again. Namo Nalina Netraya.
Namo Nalina Netraya.
Do you hear an alliteration, dear devotees? Which syllable is being repeated? Na. Namo Nalina Netraya. Obeisances to the lotus-eyed one. Till now, in the heart we have drawn only one detail of this person. What detail have we drawn, dear devotees? The eyes. Previously, there was no PowerPoint to show the entire image. You would simply have the verse and you have to do the drawing within your heart. Today we have PowerPoint, we have a lot of help to do that. But previously, the poets would draw the image on the walls of the heart. So dear devotees, we should not skip that very important exercise. The image is primarily to be drawn where, dear devotees? On the walls of the heart. We'll close our heart and let's try to draw this image. Well, one simple detail we have to draw of Sri Krishna's personality. This Smaran itself is very purifying, dear devotees. Let's try to close our eyes. I will sing. Please repeat after me. Namo Nalina Netraya.
Namo Nalina Netraya.
Dear devotees, some of us are expert in visualizing. Some are not so expert in visualizing. No matter what our level of expertise is, some basic smaranam should be done by everybody. And this is the practice. Namo Nalina Netra. If we can do basic smaran, we don't have to draw the entire form of Bhagavan on the mind. But just one detail Sri Rupa Goswami is saying. And that detail is the lotus eyes. So, Netraya, to he who has eyes like Nalina. What is the meaning of Nalina? Lotus. Namaha, obeisances to the lotus-eyed one. Then we will add further detail. Venu Vadya Vinodine.
Venu Vadya Vinodine.
He is Vinodi. Vinodi means he takes great joy in Vadya, in playing. Playing what, dear devotees? Venu. What is Venu? And what is Murli? And what is Vamshi? In English, everything is flute. So, Venu is the most organic flute made out of bamboo that Bhagavan plays in Vrindavan. Other flutes made out of metals are also there. The flute, golden flute, the silver flute. Venu is a flute made out of what? Bamboo. This flute, these three types of flutes of Bhagavan have been described in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. What are the names of the three types of flute? Venu, Vamshi, Murli. Out of that, the most organic bamboo flute that Bhagavan plays. What is the name of that flute, dear devotees? Venu. So, Venu, Vadya, Vinodine. Bhagavan takes great pleasure in playing Venu. This, dear devotees, is his natural hobby that he enjoys in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, dear devotees, our Bhagavan is unburdened by the kingly responsibilities of Mathura and Dwaraka. There are zero responsibilities on the shoulders of Bhagavan at this point of time. Our Bhagavan can wear comfort clothing on the banks of the Yamuna. You know what is comfort clothing? No? Comfort clothing is when you go back home and you select the clothing from the cupboard that you want to wear while taking rest in the bed. I hope you are able to understand. That clothing is known as which clothing? Comfort. Bhagavan's comfort clothing is to raise his dhoti all the way above till here. There are various styles of wearing dhoti. Bhagavan, raise your dhoti till the knees and then sit comfortably on the banks of the Yamuna, playing the flute. No headache of killing the demon, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya. No headache like that. Bhagavan's personal pleasure garden is Sri Vrindavan. And there he enjoys Vinodi. Vinodi means he takes great pleasure in Venu Vadya. What a great distress to his heart. When he left Vrindavan, he also left the Venu behind. Never again would he play the Venu in Mathura or Dwarka. Never. You will not see him playing Venu in Mathura or Dwarka. This is one particular hobby of Bhagavan, the dearmost activity of Bhagavan, that Bhagavan did only in one place. Which place, dear devotees? Sri Vrindavan. And only in Sri Vrindavan our Bhagavan experienced the first love of his life. First loves are very special and never to be forgotten. And the name of that first love is mentioned in the third line, dear devotees. Please sing after me. Radha dhara sudha pana. The alliteration of the is there in this particular verse. Bhagavan experienced the first love of his life in Sri Vrindavan. Radha, adhara. Adhara refers to lower lip. Sudha, and the nectar of various words is coming from her lower lip. When she sings, when she speaks something, even if she gives him gali. You know what is gali, dear devotees? What is gali? Loving abusive words. I hope you're able to understand. What is gali, dear devotees? Loving abusive words. The queens of Dwarka will never give gali because they are very sophisticated, princely girls. For them, giving gali is way below their standard. I hope you're able to understand. And for them, our Sri Krishna is Maharaj. Can you give gali to Maharaj? No, you can't give gali to Maharaj. Can you give gali to your husband? Privately, yes. But sorry, wrong question. Okay, wrong. But so, but can a cowherd girl give gali to Krishna? Yes or no? Yes. Adhikar, gali. Are you are of our jati only. Isn't it? You belong to our jati. So, gali, Radha, Adhar, Sudha, Pana. What the Adhar Sudha, the nectar coming from the lower lip, gali, Pana, Shalina. Are, wow. I am so happy today. My day is successful because today I got to hear something. What did I get to hear? Gali. Ashlishyava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanan marmahatam karotuva yatha tathava vidadhatu lampato. What is lampat, dear devotees? Debauchee. Person of questionable moral character. So this verse came originally from the mouth of Sri Radha. Lampat is gali. And every day all of us following in her footsteps are also giving Bhagavan, dear devotees, gali. Bhagavan says, Are wah, wonderful. Radha Adhara Sudha Pana Shaline, Vanamaline. And he has a name. What is his name, dear devotees? Vanamali. He wears a garland, which liberally long hanging garland of forest flowers. He doesn't have to wear that golden heavy jewelry of Maharaj or in Dwarka. Vanamaline, he is wearing forest flowers. So this, dear devotees, is our Bhagavan. So Narottam Vilas Prabhu, please read the translation.
Obeisances to the lotus-eyed one. Obeisances to him who delights in playing the flute. Obeisances to him who is an expert in drinking the lower lip nectar of Shri Radha. Obeisances unto Shri Vanamali.
We may not have noticed so easily, but Sri Rupa Goswami has expertly stitched together many things in this verse. Obeisances to Vanamali. Vanamali is Naam. What is Vanamali, dear devotees? Naam. So the name of Shri Krishna is also included. I hope you are able to understand. After Naam comes Roop. Okay? Roop, obeisances to the lotus-eyed one. This is part of what, dear devotees? Bhagwan's Roop. Then after Roop comes Guna, qualities. Obeisances to him who delights in playing the flute. This is Guna of Sri Krishna. And after Guna comes Leela. And the Leela is obeisances to him who is expert in drinking the lower lip nectar of Sri Radha. Dear devotees, Bhagwan's Naam, Bhagwan's Roop, Bhagwan's Gun, Bhagwan's Leela, all compressed into single word of Anushtup meter in 32 syllables. This is the expertise of Sri Rupa Goswami himself. Wonderful, dear devotees. All glorified in single verse. Naam, Roop, Gun and Leela. In Hindi we say, Gagar mein sagar bharna. Gagar mein sagar bharna. How many know Hindi of this? You know what is Gagar mein sagar bharna? Yes, Prabhuji? Filling ocean in a small pot. Gagar mein sagar bharna. So he filled the entire ocean in small verse. Dear devotees, wonderfully Sri Rupa Goswami. And how blessed we are to have such an Acharya. There are so many sampradayas who have many glorious Acharyas. And Acharyas that are expert in Vedanta, Nyaya, Mimamsa. But the result of studying Vedanta, Nyaya, Mimamsa is that a person becomes more and more dry-hearted. Day by day, a person becomes more dry-hearted. How glorious is our sampradaya that we were blessed with an Acharya who is the biggest connoisseur of ras. That is our glory. Dear devotees, our Acharya is connoisseur of which branch of philosophy? Ras. This is Sri Rupa Goswami. How glorious it is that we can be happy. The direct happiness is there here. Nyaya, Mimamsa, they will give you happiness at the end of your life. At death, they will give you a promise that after death you will be happy. But who knows? Maybe I will die a miserable death even after studying Nyaya and Mimamsa. So, happiness is here, happiness is now. I hope you are able to understand. Happiness is here, happiness is now. In the afterlife also there is. But I don't want any happiness in the afterlife which I can't experience here. Okay? That experience will be given by Sri Rupa Goswami, their devotees. Because there are many religions on earth who promise happiness in the afterlife. Suffer right now, happiness in the afterlife. No. Happiness right now and happiness in the afterlife. This is Sri Rupa Goswami. Wonderful. Gaudiya Vaishnavism, dear devotees. The reason why the process is so joyous is because we are not dry-hearted. And we are not dry-hearted because Sri Rupa Goswami is not an impersonalist. He is a thorough personalist. And even in personalism, he is a thorough rasik. Dear devotees, at one point of time, Sri Rupa Goswami introduced a very wonderful rasik to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Alright? The name of this rasik was Sri Raghupati Upadhyay. What is the name, dear devotees? Sri Raghupati Upadhyay. The name is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Those who have studied Chaitanya Charitamrita will have heard this name, Sri Raghupati Upadhyay. So one time Sri Rupa Goswami introduced Sri Raghupati Upadhyay to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he said, Mahaprabhu, he is a very thorough rasik and he loves Shri Krishna. So imagine getting recommended by Sri Rupa Goswami. And you are in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dear devotees, Mahaprabhu said, very wonderful. Sri Rupa is introducing you. Can you tell me what you have realized about Krishna? This is the question Mahaprabhu asked. To whom, dear devotees? Sri Raghupati Upadhyay. So this question was asked by Mahaprabhu. Now, dear devotees, this question Mahaprabhu will also ask us one day. Because someday we will also be introduced to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu may ask us, wonderful, please tell me something about Shri Krishna. And what will we say about Shri Krishna? Mahaprabhu, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. आगे बढ़ो हाँ चलो अच्छा Mahaprabhu is expecting all of us to be kavi. I hope you are able to understand what is the meaning of kavi? Poet. I will ask a question. Please answer in yes or no. Did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compose poetry? Yes or no? Yes. His disciple Sri Rupa Goswami? Sri Jeev Goswami? Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan? Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur? Srila Prabhupada? All of us? What happened? Krishna said in Arjuna, Sakale neham hata yogo nashta parant. That parampara was broken in between. So I have to speak Gita again to you. Let the tradition not break. Dear devotees, ours is a tradition of poetry. Even Shri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is poet. He composed the song, Kothai go prema mai radhe radhe, kanu mana mohini radhe radhe. That song was composed by Shri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. Everybody is poet here. Shri Prabhupada rendered the entire Bhagavad Gita into Bengali poetry. It's called Gitar Gan. Unfortunately, it is not published so much nowadays. But Srila Prabhupada's poetry is that he translated entire Gita into Bengali verses. And what is the name of that poetry, dear devotees? Gitar Gan in Bangla Bhacha. So we are blessed with poets. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking. One day he will ask all of us also. Dear devotees, we have to be prepared what to say. So Raghupati Upadhyay is prepared. He knows. Any moment Mahaprabhu will ask, I have to give an answer. And this time he said, Mahaprabhu, a verse of my creation is there. I am not going to compose, I am not going to recite a previous verse. I am going to speak a verse of my composition. Mahaprabhu says, sadhu, sadhu, this is what I want. Poets who have the heart of composing new poetry. Chalo, bolo. So he says the verse is in the meter Arya. What is the meter, dear devotees? Arya. Please sing after me, dear devotees. Shrutayah palal kalpa. Shrudaya balal kalpa. Kimiha vayam sampratam chinuma. Kimiha vayam sampratam chinuma. Ahriyatapuraiva nayanair. Ahriyatapuraiva nayanair. Abhirivi param brahma. Abhirivi param brahma. Mahaprabhu. Now, he didn't have to translate for Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu understood by hearing. But now, today, I will translate for all of dear devotees. Sri Raghupati Upadhyay comes from an Advaitavad background. Advaitavad is the school of Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Dear devotees, this is the de facto school of thought which existed in India for centuries. Most individuals who took to any philosophy, Vedic philosophy, took to this philosophy of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, where Bhagwan is described as impersonal Brahman. He has no form, no shape, no qualities, no pastimes, etc. This is Advaitavad. Sri Raghupati Upadhyay had spent most of his life in Advaitavad, but later he had become a devotee. So, after becoming a devotee, he had become such a Rasik devotee that he said, Shrutayah palala kalpa. Shrutis are the Upanishads. Upanishads are the literature which they recite daily, the Advaitavadis. Shrutayah palala kalpa. These Shrutis, these Upanishads have become palala kalpa, just like an empty husk. You know what is husk? After you beat, the grains come out, and what remains is the empty husk. So this Shrutaya, this everyday recitation that I am doing of Upanishads, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vasishyate, Ishavasyamidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat. Are Bab, this is Palala Kalpa. Every day I am beating empty husk. Kimi Havayam Sampratam Chinuma. What seed will I get from this? Are why? Doesn't Shri Krishna say in the Gita, Vedaischa Sarvair Ahameva Vedya? Isn't it? From all the Shrutis, what seed will come out? Shri Krishna? Are no, Mahaprabhu, no. Today this is not happening. Why? Ahriyata. Somebody stole that seed. Puraiva. Somebody stole that seed. Which seed, dear devotees? Shri Krishna. From the husk of the Upanishads. Somebody stole the seed. Who stole the seed? Nayanair, using the corners of their eyes. Abhiribi, some cowherd lady stole the seed of that impersonal Brahman. Some cowherd lady stole it. Param Brahma, that which was described as Param Brahma, is now stolen by the sidelong glances of cowherd ladies. This is what happened. Here is the translation. Please read.
The Upanishads and other Shrutis are now like empty husks of rice. What could we possibly extract from them now? The seed of the Supreme Brahman, Krishna, has already been stolen away by the eyes of the cowherd damsels.
And dear devotees, therefore he says, as an impersonalist, I feel, I feel no joy in beating the husk. I wish to become a Vaishnav now. And dear devotees, how many of you have seen an impersonalist practicing impersonalism in Samadhi? How many of you have seen? Would you like to see an impersonalist and how dry they are? I am showing one image, dear devotees, an actual photograph of an impersonalist in Samadhi. Dear devotees, please have a look. I hope you are able to see. How many of us can practice like this? So it's very important to understand that this path of impersonalism dries you out. It is very difficult to practice. But the easy path, dear devotees, is the path of Bhakti Ras. Sri Raghupati Upadhyay took that path. Acha. Dear devotees, Shri Shri Radha and Krishna's prem is exquisite. It is joyous. Prabhu, how much time do I have? No, but still give me a limit. Half an hour? Oh, wonderful. Chalo. Now I know the time. So I am confident. So Shri Shri Radha Krishna, their love is so exquisite. We can't begin to fathom the depth of such prema. Shri Shri Radha Krishna, their prema, has two embankments. Two embankments means there are two banks Please hear carefully, dear devotees. There are two banks of the river of Prema. Prema flows like a river. And in this river, there are always, how many banks, dear devotees? Two banks. All right. So the two banks of the river of Prema, please repeat after me. Viraha. And what is the meaning of viraha, dear devotees? Separation. And second is Milan. What is the meaning of Milan? Union. So the river of Prema always moves between two banks. What are the two banks, dear devotees? Viraha and Milan. And it is best for the river of Prema to start on the bank of Viraha, on the bank of separation. So the Prema of Shri Shri Radha Krishna, when they appeared in this world 5,000 years ago, that Prema also started on the banks of Viraha, on the banks of separation. This first stage of Viraha, where Radha and Krishna are growing up together simultaneously, and they are growing up together simultaneously, and gradually they begin to notice each other as they are growing in age. And when they start noticing each other, they start developing some attraction for each other. This first sweet attraction that Bhagavan will experience in Sri Vrindavan has been given a technical name by Sri Rupa Goswami. This is called as, please repeat, Purva Rag. What is it called, dear devotees? Purva Rag. Purva Rag is the first attraction that exists between Sri Radha and Krishna. This is the reason why they appear on planet Earth. There are some pastimes on planet Earth that cannot happen in Golok Vrindavan. What pastimes cannot happen? Two pastimes cannot happen. Sri Kavi Karnapur says, Balyadi Lila Asura Nash Lile. Pastime of killing the demons cannot happen in Golok Vrindavan. In Golok Vrindavan also sometimes there are demons, but those demons, Sri Jiva Goswami says, are mechanical demons. They are not real ones. They are devotees. Real demons exist only not in the spiritual world. Real demons exist in which world, dear devotees? Material world. Balyadi Lila. And the pastime of going from 0 to 16. I hope you are able to. That pastime cannot happen in the spiritual world. Because in the spiritual world, he is eternally fixed at sweet 16. But in the material world, when he appears, he has the chance of going from 0 to 16. So this Leela only happens in the material world. And this Leela, dear devotees, happens constantly in the material world so that Bhagavan can relish that flavor again and again of falling in love for the first time. And dear devotees, this falling in love for the first time has been given a name. What is the name of that, dear devotees? Purva Rag. Purva is initial, Rag is attachment. Purva, Rag, initial attachment that exists between Sri Sri Radha and Krishna is called as Purva Rag. This is not a stage of Milan. This is a stage of separation because both of them want to meet each other. But society is a big hindrance in letting them meet each other. Previously, society was like this. Nowadays, society has lost all sense of Purvarag. Even in the material world, there is something called as material Purvarag. But today, nobody usually experiences Purvarag. Why? Because in the material world also, if a boy and girl, they develop some attachment for each other, nowadays you can go on the internet and type their name, and in 10 minutes you can find out what are their likes, what is dislikes. And I don't like her. Arey, you didn't even meet her. Purva Rag is destroyed by this social media. Previously, you had to get married to somebody to find out you don't like them. I hope you're able. Inconvenient truth. Previously, you had to get married to somebody to find out you don't like them. But anyways, we are not speaking about the material world. Neither our Nayak is from the material world, neither Naika is from the material world. But anyways, a shadow of that exists in the material world, so we can relate to it. Okay? Purva Rag is the first shade of Prema. Is it on the embankment of separation or is it on the embankment of union, dear devotees? Separation. Prem is best when it begins on which embankment, dear devotees? Separation. So, Sri Purva Rag, dear devotees, began. And Sri Rupa Goswami defines what is Purva Rag. Translation will be by Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But wonderful verse by Sri Rupa Goswami defining Purva Rag. Please sing after me. Ratirya sangamat purvam darshana shravanadija tayorunmilati pragye Purvaragah sa uchyate. Ratir, that attachment, which is sangamat purvam, before the meeting. I hope you are able to understand. Before the formal meeting, that attachment which exists, darshana, by seeing from a distance, shravana, by hearing from a distance. Are you heard Krishna was going, acha, what was he doing? Huh? Are why don't you go and meet him? No, I can't. I hope you are able to understand. Huh? Ratirgya sangamat purvam, darshana shravanadija. This attachment is produced by seeing, hearing about him. Tayor unmilati, and it grows in both people. It's not one-sided. Tayor, it grows in both people. The Nayak and the Nayika. Who is the Nayak here, dear devotees? Shri Krishna. Who is the Nayika here? Shri Radha. Tayor unmilati, it keeps growing in both of them. Pragyai, the learned people call it. What do they call? Learned people call it, dear devotees? Purvaraga so uchyate. This is called as Purvarag. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Kindly read the translation. Huh?
When attachment is produced in the lover and the beloved before their meeting by seeing, hearing, etc. about each other, and when such attachment becomes very palatable by the mixture of 4 ingredients such as Vibhav and Anubhav, this is called Purvarang.
Attachment already exists, but it becomes more tasteful by other ingredients like the environment. Sometimes it is dark night. I hope you are able to understand. Huh? So environment sometimes induces more attachment. So when that same attachment becomes more and more deeper by various factors, this stage of prema, what is the technical name, dear devotees? Purva Rag. So we can understand what is Purva Rag, dear devotees. Sri Radha develops Purva Rag for Sri Krishna. Both of them are growing up. Sri Rupa Goswami describes in the Padyavali, one fine day, dear devotees, Sri Radha is walking on the banks of the Yamuna. While walking on the banks of the Yamuna, dear devotees, it becomes little late at night. Suddenly, she hears the sound of the flute and goes following that flute, dear devotees. In the darkness of the night, she sees for the first time a form that she had not seen before. And she sees this form of a person who is playing flute very casually on the banks of the Yamuna. And then this person, while playing the flute, gives her a very crooked sidelong glance. She runs away from there. And she comes home and her heart is beating. Next morning also she is aswastha. You know what is aswastha? Huh? Uncomfortable. Is there anybody who speaks Marathi here? Arey wah! In Marathi, there is one term which can describe all situations. मला कसं तरी होत आहे, कुछ तो हो रहा है, ऐसा. हाँ, so something is happening, I can't pinpoint, ऐसा, ठीक है. So she came home aswastha, she chitta aswastha, she's not. So Lalita, Vishakha, they understood something is not right. What happened? Nothing. Arey, you are not carrying out your home duties properly. What happened? Nothing. Arey, tell me what happened. Acha, theek hai. Yesterday I was walking, it became little late at night. And just it was between evening and night, I saw this person. My goodness. I say, since I saw, I am not able to sit peacefully. Can you describe that person? Oh, yes, I will describe. Sri Radha describes. Dear devotees, the verse is in the meter. Vasanta Tilakam. I'll sing the verse. Please sing after me. Indivarodara sahodara medura Shri.
Indivarodara sahodara medura Shri.
Indivarodara sahodara medura Shri.
Indivarodara sahodara medura Shri.
Vasodravas ganaka vrandane bandadhana.
Vasodravas ganaka vrandane bandadhana.
Amukta muktika manohara hara vaksha.
Amukta muktika manohara hara vaksha.
Koyam yuva jagadanangamayam karoti.
Koyam yuva jagadanangamayam karoti.
Acha, here, Lalita Vishaka, here, careful. Dear devotees, you have to draw painting on the walls of your heart. Huh? Don't try very hard, just here, alright? And try to meditate on what is being said. I'll describe that person. I don't know his name. Indivarodara Sahodara Medura Shri. Shri, his form is Medura, is very soft. Sahodara, just it can be compared to Indivarodar, like the middle portion of a blue lotus. If you see a blue lotus, dear devotees, the end portions are dark and the middle portions are slightly lighter. Dear devotees, that bluish complexion that he had is like the middle portion of a blue lotus and very soft he was looking. Vaso Dravat, and his cloth was in contrast to his beauty, increasing his beauty. Dravat Kanakavrinda Nibham, he was wearing a cloth which was having the color of molten gold. Wonderful silk cloth he was wearing. Mukta Mauktika Manohara Hara Vaksha. On his chest there was one simple pearl necklace which was dangling liberally as he was swaying to and fro. Koyam Yuva. Who is this young person? Jagat, the entire world, Anangamayam Karoti. He is making the entire world full of Ananga. Dear devotees, what is the meaning of Ananga? Ananga means Kamdev, Cupid, the god of love. He is filling my entire world with love. Koyam Yuva. Who is this young person? Everywhere I see only love. Jagat Anangamayam Karoti. Dear devotees, Sri Radha just ended up saying this. She did not realize that she ended up saying something which had a second meaning. Koyam Yuva. Who is this person? Jagat, the entire world. Anangamayam Karoti. He is making Ananga. An, without Anga, material bodies. When you look at him, you lose your material bodies. Koyam Yuva. Jagat Anangamayam Karoti. He is making the entire world devoid of material bodies and sending everybody to the spiritual world. Dear devotees, this was the first glance that she got, and this is Purvarag for his form. Please read the translation.
His effulgence is as soothing as the effulgence emanating from the wall of a blue lotus. He wears clothes that resemble brilliant molten gold. A necklace of pristine pearls hangs liberally from his neck. Dear Sakhi, who is this young boy? His Anga, body, is making the entire world completely Ananga, devoid of a body, full of Cupid.
Dear devotees, how many of you want to see a form of Satya Bhagavan? Please raise your hands. Acha. Look carefully at the screen, dear devotees, similar to what she saw in the middle of the night. Can you see the lavanya, the radiance coming from his body? That radiance that emanated in the middle of the night from his body, dear devotees, that radiance entered into her eyes and completely took over all her senses. Koyam Yuva, Jagad Anangamayam Karoti. This, dear devotees, is the first glance that Shri Krishna had. He gave her a very crooked sidelong glance and she ran away from there. Is she able to speak to him, dear devotees? No. Which stage of love is this, dear devotees? Purvarag. Purvarag. Krishna consciousness. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The purpose of the society is here, right here, dear devotees. We are looking face to face with the purpose of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This is why we came to the movement. I hope you are able to understand. This is why we came to the movement. Koyam Yuva, Jagad Anangamayam Karoti. This person is making the entire world full of love. Acha, our Bhagavan also looked at her eyes and got infected by the same condition. Which condition, dear devotees? Purva. Next day she is going, she did not see him there. She is going every day, but she is not seeing him there after that day. What happened? She asked her friend Lalita and Vishaka to go find out what happened to him. Why is he not coming here? Every day he used to be there. Why is he not coming? After some time, Lalita, Vishaka come back and say, here what is happening to him. He is also affected by some condition like you. Wonderful verse, dear devotees, in the Padyavali. Same meter. Can we sing together this time? Let's sing together. Vasan charayati vadayatena venum amodatena yamunavana marutena kunje niliya shidhilam valitottamangam antastvaya shvasiti sundari nanda sunu. Sundari means, oh beautiful Radha. Nanda Sunu, the son of Nanda, I'll tell you what is going on with him nowadays. Ever since he saw you, something is going on with him also. Vatsana charayati. Nowadays he doesn't go to herd the calves. Vadayatena venum. Nowadays he is not playing the venu. Venu is which flute, dear devotees? Bamboo flute. Amodatena, doesn't take any pleasure. Yamuna vana marutena, in the cooling breezes of Yamuna. Earlier he used to relish those cooling breezes. Nowadays those cooling breezes, he is irritated by them. Doesn't stay there. Acha, what is he doing nowadays? Kunjaniliya, he is hiding in his private place. Kunja. He hides, doesn't come out nowadays. Nili, hiding there. Shithilam valitottamang, his body is completely shithila, completely lack of energy. Valitottamangam, and his uttamanga, his head, he is bowed down, his hand on his head. He sits for long time. Antastvaya, remembering you, I think. Shvasiti, he is taking long breaths. This is happening to him. Dear devotees, you are intelligent, you can understand what is happening to Sri Krishna. Okay? Here is the translation. Please read, dear devotees. Please.
Oh, beautiful girl, he neither takes the calves out for grazing, nor does he seem to play the flute. Moreover, he has stopped taking pleasure in the cooling breezes that flow in the forest near the Yamuna. Hiding deep inside a kunja, with his head bent down in utter dejection, he heaves deep sighs, being overcome in his mind by your thoughts.
You can imagine the turmoil that is going on in the heart of this particular personality. I will not name him, you know the name. You can see an image, dear devotees, as to what is happening with him. So at this point, it's important for all of us to ask a question. Can you please ask a question? Can you repeat after me, dear devotees? Krishna, is everything okay?
Is everything okay?
Yeah. Everything is okay. This person has big ego. If you ask him everything is okay, he will never say that everything is not okay. In Vrindavan, he has all these chota defects. I hope you are able to understand. He will not agree easily. Oh, there is some problem with me. No, everything is okay. Everything is nice. So anybody would ask him, what happened? And thoda take bhojan? Yeah, I will take. What happened? Get up, you have to go back home? Yeah. Arey, what is happening with you? Is everything okay? Yeah, everything is okay. Everything is not okay, dear devotees. Everything is not okay. Finally, Madhumangal comes and tells him, Dekho, you will fool the entire world, but you will not fool me. So tell me correctly, Krishna, what is going on? So Krishna said, Acha, I will tell you, but promise me you will not tell anybody. Because big person's big reputation is at stake here. Big person, big reputation, it is at stake. If it comes out that the son of Nanda Maharaj fell for the daughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, then there will be big problem. So Krishna confides in his friend Madhumangal. Don't tell anybody, huh? I am just telling you. Okay? Same meter. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Tasya mukhye mukha tushar mayukha bimbe duran mamakshi padavi madhirudha matre nirbandhata shapath koti bhirambayaham nitakshanadaha sadmani bhojanaya. Now, dear devotees, he starts confiding in his friend. But such a crooked person, he ends up speaking half a lie to his own friend. Didn't confide properly because he used to protect his reputation. So, dear devotees, now you are laughing. Laughing is which ras, dear devotees? Hasya. You are being touched by ras. You are coming in direct contact with what, dear devotees? Ras. When you are coming in contact with ras, you know that you are coming in contact with Bhagavan. Because raso vaisaha. He is rasa. Rasam hi evayam labdhva anandi bhavati. Only by coming in contact with ras does a living entity become happy. So, dear devotees, if you are coming in contact with rasa, know that you are being touched by whom? Shri Krishna. If you are touched by Shri Krishna, dear devotees, if some of you are experiencing some emotions, then please know that it is the presence of Shri Krishna. When Shri Krishna says that in a katha I am present, wherever a katha is being spoken, I am present. The question is, in which row is he sitting? So he is not sitting in a particular row. He is present in the form of one particular entity. In the form of which entity, dear devotees? Ras. If you are touched by one of the rasas, know that you are touched by Shri Krishna himself. And that this is not for our gratification, but this should be used for the purpose of seva. Let's dedicate this happiness to one person in our mind. Which person, dear devotees? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dear devotees, he will be very happy in Gambhira on hearing these verses. Tasya sakhe. I'll tell you. Tasya mukha tushar mayukha bimbe duran mamakshi padavi madhirudha matre. He uses a very poetic phrase. Mukha tushara mayukha bimbe. When the moon-like face of that girl arose on the eastern horizon of my eyes. Are bapre. I simply say, when I saw her for the first time. When the moon-like face of that girl arose on the eastern horizon of my eyes. Mamakshi padavim adhirud. When that face started rising in the eastern horizon of my eyes. I was looking at her very innocently, Madhu Mangal. I had absolutely nothing in my heart. Suddenly, nirbandhata shapata kotibhiram. From behind, my mother came and said, Hare Krishna, what are you doing? Chalo, it's late for eating. First two lines are the truth. This is the falsity. My mother called me. Nitah kshanat. She took me home. Ahaha sadmani bhojanaya. For the purpose of bhojan. She gave me hundreds of promises. Come on, Krishna. In Hindi. Tumko kasam hai meri. Chalo. Let's go. Madhu Mangal, what should I do? He didn't say what a crooked person. He gave that crooked sidelong glance. She ran away. This he will not reveal. Because it will reveal his true character. And he has to protect his reputation at all costs, isn't it, dear devotees? So this is our Sri Krishna in Vrindavan. Please read, Prabhu.
Oh friend, alas, as soon as the image of her moon-like face arose on the horizon of my eyes, my mother came and took me away from there. She gave me billions of oaths, asked me to go back home with her and eat food.
Arey wah, aisa jhoot. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Narad Muni has given duties for every jati, Brahman Varn, Kshatriya Varn, Vaishya Varn. For Vaishya, he says, Satya Anritabhyam, they should live by speaking half truth, half lies. That is how business is conducted. Business community, if you tell the entire truth, you will not make a profit. If you tell entire lies, customer will come back with a complaint that you didn't give the proper details of the product. So Vaishya Jati has to live with what? Half truth, half. So he is living up to his jati here. Huh? First 2 lines is half truth. Next 2 lines is half lies. Aisa, Gop Jati mein our Sri Krishna is behaving. Dear devotees, finally Sri Krishna will also not, his ego is also not allowing him to talk to her for the first time. She is also little shy. Finally Lalita Vishaka said, you do one thing, you write a letter to him. You write a letter to him and you confide in him what are your emotions. So dear devotees, Sri Radha writes a letter to Sri Krishna. And how many of you have written such a letter in your life? Oh, no, you are Hare Krishna. You don't. Sorry. You are. I'm sorry. Hare Krishna don't love. Hai na? Huh? Okay, sorry. Okay. So, Sri Radha wrote a letter, a love letter to Sri Krishna. Now, those of you who know the art of writing a love letter, I will not ask you to raise your hands, okay? But you all know who you are, what you did long back ago. So, the art of writing love letter, if you know, in writing a love letter, it is best not to write the name of the sender and receiver. Just write the message. Okay? So, message was written and letter was given in the hand of Lalita Vishaka. They came to Sri Krishna and said, there is a message for you. Acha? By whom? There is a message for you. Take it. Okay. So he took the message and he tucked it. And now he is very happy. He knows. So he's walking very happily, and that day he retires early back home. He goes early home. And then when he is alone, Sri Rupa Goswami describes Sri Krishna. He opens the letter. Before opening the letter, he is Krishna. Samha Shvasihi Shama. Calm down. Calm down. Finally, he opens the letter. Letter is written by Sri Radha. There is no name of sender, no name of recipient, but he knows where the letter has come from. Letter is in the Shaur Seni language spoken 5,000 years ago in Vrindavan. Sri Rupa Goswami puts that same language of the letter. And this verse is in the meter Arya. This is not Sanskrit. This is Prakrit, Shaur Seni language. You will recognize that it is not Sanskrit. I will sing the verse. Please sing after me. Dhari appadi chandagunam. Dhari appadi chandagunam. Sundara mama mandire tumam vasasi. Sundara mama mandire tumam vasasi. Tahatarundasi valiyam. Tahatarundasi valiyam. Jah jah chaida palaemi. Jah jah chaida palaemi. Does it sound like Sanskrit, dear devotees? No. This is Prakrit, Shaur Seni, language spoken 5,000 years ago. Sri Radha is saying, Dhari appadi chandagunam, taking wonderful qualities. Sundara, you took such a wonderful form. Mama mandire tumam vasasi, now you are residing in the temple of my heart. Dear devotees, what is the complexion of Sri Radha? Gold. Her heart is also of that complexion. What she is saying is, I had a golden heart. Now there is one black spot in that golden heart. And I am trying to run away from that black spot. Taha rundhasi valiyam. Jaha jaha chaida palayami. Wherever I am running in my heart, this black spot is gradually taking over my heart. My heart is becoming dark. Krishna, come do something about it before it is too late. Here is the translation. Please read.
Assuming a beautiful form, you are now residing in the temple of my heart. In whichever direction I try to run away, you appear there and surround me with your presence. I am unable to remove you from my heart.
Right, dear devotees, now enough of separation. Something Krishna has to do. So I am doing one last verse, and if we have time, then we can do one more. But this is one last verse, dear devotees. All right. So Krishna got the message. He has to do something. Krishna is eager to arrange some meeting. Dear devotees, after a few days, Krishna sees that there are some preparations going on at home. So some festival is about to take place. So Krishna comes and asks Mother Yashoda, what is happening? You don't know? We are preparing for worship of Indra. For which puja? Indra puja. We are preparing for worship of Indra puja. Acha. Oh, very nice. Today there is a function? Yeah, there is a big celebration today. There will be nice feast. Acha. Who all are coming? Everybody is coming. Acha. Is Maharaj Vrishabhanu coming? Hare Krishna, I forgot to tell you. Maharaj Vrishabhanu had to go, is about to go to Mathura. He has to pay his annual taxes to Kamsa. So he cannot come. Oh. Can anybody as a representative come from their family? Whom do you want, Krishna? Anybody, any one member is okay. Acha, Krishna, I will send one messenger. We will see if somebody from their family can come. So one elderly gopi was sent as a messenger. Please come. So when the gopi came there, Sri Radha understood that this person has done something. So she also started crying, I want to go to the festival. I don't want to go to Mathura. I want to go to the festival. So along with the gopi, she came here, dear devotees. When she came here, festival is going very nicely. And Maharaj Vrishabhanu is not going to return till tomorrow morning. He will stay back there. He is not going to return till tomorrow morning. So Sri Radha is also supposed to stay at this place for the entire night, and next morning she is supposed to go. In the evening, Sri Radha starts saying, I am feeling homesick. I want to go back. Arey? Just now you came? No, I had enough with the festival. I want to go back. Dear devotees. At that time, she starts crying, I want to go back home. Sri Rupa Goswami describes in Padyavali. The meter is Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Can we sing together, dear devotees? Let's sing together. Ahutadya Mahotsave Nishigriham Shunyam Vimuchyagata Shiva Bresha Jana Katham Kulavadhu Ekakini Yasyati Vatsatvam Tadimam Nalalayamiti Shrutva Yashoda Giro Radha Madhavayor Jayanti Madhura Smeralasa Drashtaya. So she is crying and Mother Yashoda is thinking now what to do. It's evening time. She is crying that I am feeling homesick and I have to go home. And Mother Yashoda says, but there is nobody at your home. No problem. I can stay at home for the night, but send me back home. I will close the door from inside. I will stay at home at night, but send me home. I am not feeling good. Mother Yashoda says, Ahutadya, I called her. Mahotsave, for what did I call her? Mahotsav, for Nishi, Griham, and now it's almost night. Griham Shunyam. Her home is what? Shunya. What is Shunya? Empty. Vimuchyagata, she has come, leaving behind her empty home. Now I want to send her back. Let me find that gopi who had bought her. So she tries to find that gopi who had bought her. Shiva Bresha Jana. All the servants are busy in the festival. Nobody is to be found. Katham Kulavadhur. How will this wonderful girl, this girl from good family, Ekakini Yasyati, how will she go alone? She cannot go alone. Suddenly, Mother Yashoda sees somebody is loitering around. So, who is loitering around? Hare, Krishna. You know Radha, na? Yeah. She is crying to go back home. Krishna, I know you are sweet and trustworthy boy. Can you drop her to her home? Oh, Krishna said, I can drop. But isn't it too late? Krishna. You do one thing. You drop her. If it's not too late, you come back. If it's too late, you also stay there and come tomorrow morning. As soon as Radha Madhav heard this, Radha Madhavayor Jayanti Madhura Smera Lasa Madhura Sme. Both of them bowed down their head, looked at each other, and smiled through their eyes. They are smiling through the face, and then they are smiling through the eyes. The devotees, they are smiling through the eyes. They looked at each other. Drishtaya. All glories to this smiling which they exhibited in front of Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda arranged the first meeting of Sri Radha Krishna without even realizing it, dear devotees. Of course, he is such a bhiru. He is so afraid of wild animals that he will not come at night. And all of you are intelligent. You can figure out the rest of the details. Please read the translation.
Yashoda thought, I have invited Radha for a festival. Nobody's at her home, and she has come here by herself. But now she has to return back. All the servants are fully occupied in the festival. How will this chaste girl go back safely? She then said, Dear boy, you please safely take her back in the night to her home.
Yeah, and the commentators add a detail by saying, if it is too late, you also end up staying there, no problem.
Hearing this, the eyes of Radha Madhava exhibited smiling, shy glances. May these smiling eyes be ever victorious.
This, dear devotees, is how the meeting was arranged. So, should we pause or can we do one more verse? One more verse. Acha, wasi. I want to show, I will break out of the presentation. I want to show a wonderful quote by Srila Prabhupada. This relishing these verses is like drinking. You know drinking? Prabhupada, no, don't take me for... I am not speaking about breaking regulative principles, but Prabhupada used to give a quote. There is a very nice quote. Prabhu, read what Prabhupada says. The thing is
that if you want to become a drunkard, you mix with the people who drinks. Then you drink little. Then you become a big drunkard.
Wonderful. Dear devotees, I hope you are able to understand. Now you know the connection. So drink little. And just as Prabhupada said in other place, just as a small drunkard becomes a big drunkard, a small devotee becomes a big devotee. Thoda drink little. Thoda today we drank little. So this is our drinking process in Krishna consciousness. Okay? Without breaking any regulative principles. Dear devotees, in this way the prema of Sri Radha Krishna always moves in crooked ways. There are two embankments of this river. What are the two embankments, dear devotees? Anybody remembers? Separation and union. And in this way Sri Radha and Krishna will meet, and again they will separate, and then they will meet, and again they will separate. And how does this entire cycle go on? Is described in a very wonderful verse, dear devotees. I will sing this verse. This verse is in a very special meter, Harini. I will sing the verse by breaking the first line into 3 parts, and then I will sing the entire line. Okay? Please sing after me. Samajanina tad prema tyaktam yadi shadabirshaya Samajanina tad prema tyaktam yadi shadabirshaya prema tyaktam yadi shadabirshaya Smara sugazagi nasavirsha vinagalahenaya
Smara sugazagi
नासावीर्षा विना कलहेनया न खलु कलह सोऽन्योन्यं यः प्रसादनवर्जिता न खलु कलह सोऽन्योन्यं यः प्रसादनवर्जिता प्रसदन विधि नासो यूनां नयेन विलिल्यिरे
प्रसदन विधि
नासो यूनां नयेन विलिल्यिरे. Harini, meter, dear devotees. So the author of the verse says, Samajani natat prema. That love is not love. Dear devotees, you have to repeat the translation after me. Okay? Please repeat. That love is not love, which is devoid of even a slight trace of jealousy. Jealousy here is possessiveness. I hope you are able to understand what is the meaning of jealousy. Actually, that prema is not prema which does not have what in it? Possessiveness. For it to be called love, there has to be a slight degree of what? And a great degree of that. Because before love, you don't know me, I don't know you. But after love, you belong to me. So you better behave as I tell you to behave. I hope you are able to understand. So that love is not love, which is devoid of possessiveness or jealousy. The opposite of love is not hatred, dear devotees. The opposite of love is indifference. I hope you are able to understand. So as long as there is possessiveness, you can be sure that there is something. What is there, dear devotees? Love. Now, we will take this possessiveness or jealousy and go to the next step. Smara sukha sakhi nasav irsha. Irsha, jealousy, possessiveness. Please repeat. Jealousy too is not jealousy if it is devoid of a loving quarrel. So, that love is not love which doesn't lead to possessiveness. And possessiveness is not truly possessiveness if it doesn't lead to what, dear devotees? Quarrel. So in every loving relationship from time to time, there should be some loving quarrel. That loving is very important. Not that you are throwing the entire kitchen at each other. Some loving quarrel has to be there. This is the stage when they again separate. They have met, then there is some quarrel. I told you to arrive at this time. You are running on Indian Standard Time, 2 hours late. Who told you to come at this time? Get out. Quarrel, loving quarrel, dear devotees. Again separation. And now, let's take the last term. What is the last term, dear devotees, here? Quarrel. Na khalu kalaha, quarrel. Please repeat. Quarrel is not truly quarrel. If it is devoid of the act of appeasement of the beloved. So at the end of every quarrel, there has to be one person who has to say, I am sorry. It was my mistake. Usually it is the more intelligent person who says that. Okay. I am not indicating anything. All of you are intelligent. At the end of the quarrel, the more intelligent person comes and what does he say? I am really sorry. And dear devotees, appeasement is where this ended. And please, prasadana vidhir. And please, and appeasement is not really appeasement. If lovers do not merge, their limbs in a loving embrace. This is the entire cycle of love, dear devotees. How love goes from union to separation. Back it comes to union, again goes to separation. This is the entire cycle of Leela of Sri Radha Krishna, dear devotees. Wonderful verses of Sri Padyavali. I am very happy to have presented these verses. If you felt some joy, some humor, some emotion, dear devotees, some surprise, whatever emotions you felt, please offer all of them as seva. Because the purpose of the whole class was not, it is enjoyment. Enjoyment is secondary purpose. The main purpose of the class is to render what, dear devotees? Seva. Seva unto whom? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If he would have heard these verses, he would have been very, very happy. Sri Radha's mood, to render service to the mood of Sri Radha, is the purpose of Sri Padyavali. So I'm very happy to be here, present these verses, dear devotees. Thank you very much. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit vidvam saha purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi Yadatra Skhalitam Kinchit. It's possible I might have made a mistake and spoken something incorrect. But whatever incorrect I spoke, Vidvamsaha, you are learned devotees, Purayantu Tat. Please correct any mistakes and excuse me for any mistakes. But Yadatra Saushthavam Kinchit. If there's anything nice in the presentation, please remember, Tad Guru Areva. It belongs to my Gurujanas. May Nahi. It doesn't belong to me. Once again, thank you so much, Satyasar Prabhu, Jai Subhadra Mataji. Thank you so much for kindly organizing this wonderful program. Thank you to all the wonderful devotees. Thank you, Prabhu and Mataji, for kindly opening the doors of your home once again. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Jai Ho. Question? Oh, wonderful. Chalo. I hope I am not keeping all of you hungry. ठीक है? Yeah, okay. ठीक है.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for wonderfully presenting. So first I want to say thanks Prabhu, as I'm able to meet you in person. I could listening to Sikshastakam series. I'm at the 8th episode.
Yeah.
And did you do on this also Prabhu? Like
Padyavali?
Padyavali?
No,
or not yet? Oh,
because the reason is that Padyavali requires a lot of background explanation. For each verse, I am giving a lot of background explanations, and this has been given by the previous commentators on the Padyavali. So that itself requires a lot of recreation of the scene. Padyavali, you can't do just a translation. If we just read the translation without recreating the scene, the verses, many of them may not make sense to us. So Padyavali requires scene setting, and scene setting is done by the previous acharyas who have commented on this. So that will take some time, but at least I wanted to do the philosophical parts of our Gaudiya Vaishnavism first, which we did by Upadeshamritam and now Shikshashtakam. Once the tattva is set, then maybe later we can do rasa or whatever. But this is first part is to set the foundation of tattva, which I am trying to do. But I am very grateful that you are giving your time and listening to the talks. And I'm very happy to also meet you in person.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Prabhu, my question is I have 3 parts of this question. How many verses are there? And Rupa Goswami wrote only Padyavali, or he gave the translation too? And where we can get this book or anywhere?
okay.
Yeah.
So around 400 plus verses are there. There is a critical edition I will show you of Srila Rupa Goswami's Padyavali. Critical edition means it also includes all the additional verses that are there in some of the manuscripts. So I will show you the critical edition of Sri Padyavali. This is, you can see, an edition which was published by the Dhaka University in Bangladesh. Padyavali, an anthology of Vaishnava verses in Sanskrit compiled by Rupa Goswami, a disciple of Sri Krishna Chaitanya of Bengal, critically edited by Sushil Kumar Dey at University of Dhaka. It was published in 1934. All right. So this is the critical edition, which includes all the other miscellaneous verses also. There is also a Hindi edition which was digitized, and I will show you the total number of verses that are there. Besides the additional verses, you can see the total number of verses are those who can read Devanagari. This is 388. 388 is the total number of verses. Then he has also given the additional verses which are there in certain editions, and the additional verses go to 30. So 388 plus 30 additional verses in some manuscripts. How is 388 plus 30 is how much?
428.
418 verses. So maybe around 418 verses are there in this Padyavali, total verses. But you need to understand it through the commentaries of the previous acharyas. So there is a commentary on Padyavali. I will show you the commentary on Padyavali. This is Sanskrit but in Bangla script. This is Sri Rupa Goswami's Padyavali with the commentary of Sri Veer Chandra Goswami. From the family of Sri Nityanand Prabhu. So Sanskrit commentary. This is on Padyavali. Every verse there is a the verse and the commentary. So this is for those of you who can read a little Bangla. How many can read Bangla? One, only one. Okay. Mataji, can you read what is given here?
Namo. Namo Nalina Netraya Venur Vidya Vinodini.
Venu
Vadya
Vadya
Vinodine.
Vinodine Radhadhara Sudhapana Shaline Vanamaline. You remember this verse, dear devotees? Huh? The first verse that was there. This is Namo Nalina Netraya. Below here is a Sanskrit commentary. You can see the page long Sanskrit commentary here. Huh? The Sanskrit commentary explains many of the details behind that. So this is how many of the verses are understood. But it's thoda, these many verses are there in the Padyavali. Okay? And this was your question? Yes. Okay.
So can I ask follow-up?
Sure, why not? I'm okay. I have time, but I don't want to keep everybody hungry. So Prabhuji can tell when to stop. Huh? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you have like any thoughts of putting in English, Prabhu, or this?
English, there is already an edition. But I personally prefer reading in the original Sanskrit. The reason being, sometimes I am a little translation, I prefer translation which is done by myself. Just I don't want to say anything about any other translation. I just prefer the translation which I do, because the commentary has a lot of context in the background. So translation is okay. Sometimes you need transcreation. The verses cannot be translated. They need to be transcreated. And sometimes the translation is such that you will get confused, existing translations. For example, I showed you that verse, Shrutayah palala kalpa. What will I do by beating the Shrutis? The seed of the impersonal Brahman has already been stolen. By whom? Gopis. By the eyes, sidelong glances of the gopis. That was the exact translation of the verse. Now, if you see in the existing English translation, I'll not name the translation. Can you see Shrutayah palala kalpa? Kimiha vayam sampratam chinuma. Can you read the translation? Can you see the translation? Yes, please read the translation.
I can't see.
You can't see. Narottam Vilas, please read loudly.
The Shruti Shastra is as insignificant as a bunch of straw. Why do we now think in this way? Our eyes have seen the Supreme Brahman enjoying pastimes with the gopis.
ऐसा तो translation ही हो ना. When I don't want to say anything about any translation. I am in a very tight position here. Shrutayah palal kalpa. Palal is empty husk. That is what palal is. Shrutis are like empty husk. What will we do by beating? Aham brahmasmi, tattvamasi, sarvam khalvidam brahma. What will I do by beating that seed of the impersonal Brahman was ahriyata, harliya. It was stolen, nayanair, by the eyes of Abhiribi, of the gopis of Sri Vrindavan. That's the actual translation. Now, if you see, you will get thoda confused. I hope you are able to understand. So, kabhi thoda translation issues are there. Sometimes I say, So, one thing I will recommend about Padyavali. If you read Indian languages, to take a translation from Indian language. That will be thoda closer to the original. Okay? So, those translations were done by Vidwans from the previous century. So, those translations you will find thoda closer to the original. Okay? Thoda English translation mein you will get thoda confused. And I don't want you to get confused. Because even if I am giving you a suggestion, it should be in the mood of seva. You should benefit from that suggestion. So I am requesting this to you. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Nobody. Acha, Mataji. One last query from Mataji, then we will pause. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. So it's not actually question. I just you gave that verse written in original.
Prakrit.
Yes. So what was that name you?
Shauraseni.
Shaurasena. So it was so wonderful. I was like feeling so fortunate that I could at least utter some words which has been spoken 5,000 years ago. So
wonderful.
Thank you so much for
it. Thank you. Shauraseni is the language which existed 5,000 years ago in the pastimes of Sri Krishna. That verse was from Vidagdha Madhav. I will very quickly show you from the Vidagdha Madhav. Can you see? This is from Vidagdha Madhav of Sri Rupa Goswami. I am zooming in and you can see the original. Here is the original. Dhari appadi chanda gunam sundara mama mandire. This should be mama mandire tumam vasasi tah tah rundasi valayam jah jah chaida palayami. Fortunately, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commented upon Vidagdha Madhav and gave a Sanskrit chaya, Sanskrit equivalent of this. So I was able to understand because I don't speak this language. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translated Prakrit into Sanskrit. And by that Sanskrit, we are able to understand the verse today because I don't speak a language which is 5,000 years ago. Although I speak a language which is millions of years old, but I don't speak a language which is 5,000 years ago. In the comment upon this, see here, you can see the Sanskrit here. Dhritva prati chanda gunam. Can you see? Dhritva prati sundara mamma mandire tvam vasasi. Tatra tatra runatsi valitam yatra yatra chakitaham palaye. So it is Sanskrit chaya of the original Prakrit. So all glories to Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur for giving the Sanskrit, so I was able to interpret. Otherwise in this language I am Anguta Chap. You know, Aisa. So this is, thank you Mataji. Hare Krishna. Jai Ho. Okay. Oh, wonderful. It's so nice to have a summary because nowadays AI does the summary. So we have a wonderful Vaishnav doing the summary. So we have personalism. Wonderful. Thank you, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu.
So this is not an AI summary?
Okay. No. Yeah. We believe you. We believe you.
So, thank you, Prabhuji, so much again for this class. You covered a lot of content in such a short time, and it's very impressive. So, obviously, the topic for today was the Sri Padyavali, which was written by Srila Rupa Goswami, compiling of over 400 verses, and then arranged by Jiva Goswami. So, Padyavali has many occurrences in our literature. For example, the Shikshashtakam was entirely incorporated into the Padyavali, and then that was later pulled into the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Padyavali also has the aspect of being a feminine noun, and this is because the Padyavali is so beautiful that it has to be recognized as such, and only the feminine form in this material world, at least, is considered the most beautiful. So that's why it has this feminine aspect. And it was originally compiled for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it wasn't meant to be enjoyed by any of us, but since it's so beautiful, it naturally happens to be that we derive enjoyment from the Padyavali. So starting off with the first verse, Srila Rupa Goswami, he describes the Padyavali, and he describes it with a lot of feminine adjectives, as it is feminine, and uses this term bandhura, sweet, and sambandha. And it's sweet because it relates to somebody. And who is that somebody? It's Mukunda. Yeah. And then as we read the Padyavali, we'll feel these emotions of Sindhu Pramadormi, which means a joyous ocean of emotions will well up in our heart. And it's compiled for the happiness of intelligent people. And while it isn't supposed to be primarily for the enjoyment of us, it will happen regardless, but it should be used for the seva of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then for the next verse, these are the obeisances to both Sri Radha and Vanamali. So he declares Sri Krishna and Radha as the worshipful deities of the Padyavali, and each verse should be recognized as a painting of the heart. So in this specific verse, he expertly packs the verse, and he talks about Venu, which is the most organic of the three flutes that Krishna plays. And he takes Vinodine, which is great pleasure in playing this flute, which is something that he can't experience outside of Vrindavan because he has that relaxation and he doesn't have to worry about his kingly duties. So this is something that he can only do in Vrindavana. And this verse was originally sang by Radha as well. And Radha also likes to do something called gali, which is loving abusive words. Oh, no. Yeah. But Rupa Goswami ends up finishing this verse with describing him as Vanamali, which is where Krishna wears the garland of forest flowers. And in the next verse that Prabhuji describes, there's some context to this. So Srila Rupa Goswami was recommending Raghupati Upadhyay as someone who was a great worshipper of Krishna. So Mahaprabhu questions Raghupati Upadhyay, asking, what do you know about Krishna? What are your realizations? And he mentions this empty husk of impersonalism. And there's these two lines that he finishes off with. Ariyata Puraiva Nayaner Abhidibi Param Brahma. Which means that which is described as Param Brahma is even stolen by the eyes of coward damsels. So if Krishna is so impersonal, he wouldn't be able to be stolen by just simple cowherd damsels, yet he is, which shows his personality.
Jai Ho. Wonderful.
And then continuing on to this, so now we get into the next aspect of Purva Raga, which is the first attraction of Krishna. And Prabhuji also describes how this can only happen in the material world because Krishna must age in order to experience Purva Raga. In the spiritual world, he's constantly 16, which means he can technically never experience this, which is why he comes down here in order to experience that love. And in the verse, it's described as Tayor Unmilati, which is the growing of attraction, which is then later translated by scholars into Purva Raga. And both Krishna and Radha are already attracted to each other, but this attraction can be amplified by the environment, like a late night, which I'm about to describe. So for a singular night, Radha hears the sound of Krishna playing his Venu, and then she stumbles upon Krishna on the bank of Yamuna, and Krishna gives her a little sidelong glance, and then she runs away because she's flustered and she doesn't want to be there any longer. So then everyone, or Radha's friends, notice that she's unable to get any work done. They ask her, why are you unable to get work done? And Radha confides in her friends, truthfully, that she met this person, and she describes him very specifically with the term Indivadora, which means his complexion was like the middle portion of a blue lotus flower. And she mentions how his silk cloth perfectly contrasted his skin, so the golden glittering cloth was able to add even more to his already beautiful blue skin. And on top of that, a simple pearl necklace swinging from side to side was the perfect addition. And the verse ends with this statement, Goyam Yuva Jagad, which describes that his body was able to liberate the entire world of its body because of how effulgent it is.
Wow.
It's a little bit long. Yeah.
Shri Shuka Uvacha. No.
Is that good?
Okay, no. It's summarize. Yeah.
Yeah. And then now we skip over to Krishna's condition. So Radha is obviously affected, but Krishna is affected too, because now he's not herding the cows, he doesn't play the Venu anymore, and he's also irritated by the breezes of the Yamuna. He doesn't enjoy anything in life anymore, and he's just sitting alone and with his hand on his head, heaving deep sighs, just thinking about Radha. And so Madhumangal notices this. No one else notices, but only Madhumangal does. And he confides in Madhumangal, half-truthfully, just like a Vaishya should. And he talks about the moon-like face of a girl that arose from the eastern horizon of his eyes. Yeah. It's very specific. And that part is true. But then he mentions that as soon as he saw her, his mother called him to eat dinner at home in order to protect his reputation of not falling in love with any woman. So... and then on Radha's side, back to Radha's side, Lalita and Vishaka give an anonymous letter from Radha back to Krishna, and they don't tell him who it's from, they just give it to him and walk away. And then Krishna knows who it's from, so he keeps it in his pocket and he excitedly walks away. He tries to suppress that emotion, he's very excited, and then he opens the letter. And Radha basically describes essentially being unable to remove Krishna from her heart because she keeps him in the temple of her heart. And Krishna obviously knows Radha is talking about him. So then during the Indra Puja, the festival that's coming up, Maharaj Vrishabhanu is unable to make it, which means that Krishna has to figure out a way for Radha to still come. So he suggests that Radha or someone step in as a placeholder for Maharaj Vrishabhanu. And Radha understands this too when the message is sent. So then she goes in as a placeholder or the representative. And then during the festival, Radha wants to go back home, but there's no one to send her back home since it's already getting late and everyone's busy. So Mother Yashoda sends Krishna to drop her back, and she says, if it gets too late, then just stay there. And unknowingly, Yashoda Mata arranges the first meeting of Krishna and Radha. Yeah.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, he spoke very nicely, But there was little nervousness in his voice, huh? Are you experiencing Purvarag? Okay. I thought you are also, no? Is everything okay, Krishna? ठीक है. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very good. Hari bol. Jai ho. Jai ho.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for being here today.
No, wonderful. He summarized everything. He put there some words which I also had. His word selection is much better than mine. So
He did parroting, Prabhuji.
no, please not parroting.
But amazingly.
No. He gave many nice words which I will also incorporate next time I speak this. Wonderful family. Jai ho. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for bringing Padyavali, such a beautiful verses into lighting and bringing it to Austin to us, and as you all already said, we felt that one without the presetting of the scene, it's very
Difficult.
you don't digest, you don't enjoy the rasa what actually brought into this verses, right? Thank you so much, Prabhu, for setting the scenes and bringing and taking us to Rupa Goswami's heart and bringing that experience to us also. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for coming today. And of course, this could have happened in the temple, but as it is in the construction, we couldn't actually arrange the program there. But next time when you are, I'm sure we are going to have the program over there.
Wonderful.
So, for the glorification of the Prabhuji selection, to express our gratitude, just recite Hare Krishna mantra one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again, thank you very much, devotees, for coming to today. It's Saturday morning, the whole week you are tired, and then still you came in the morning and attended this class. And also we are serving breakfast prasadam. Please don't go without taking prasadam. Thank you so much. Mataji is going to announce something.
I'm just going to thank Radha Vinod Prabhu and Nirmala Mataji, Sanjana and Krishna Chaitanya for hosting the program. Thank you very much. There is delicious prasadam waiting, right, Prabhu? And we're very grateful, Prabhu. You really took us to Vrindavan and the pastimes, and we all painted the picture in the hearts. Yes, really grateful to you, Prabhu, for coming and giving